What's good? It's your boy VA. That's AJ, and this is the HR podcast.
It's the HR podcast.
So, we missed y'all for that 4th. So, happy belated 4th of July for this great country, USA. For lack of a better word, I would say. And as we always do, we're going right into this Contender segment.
Yes, sir. Jump right in.
And we're going to start it off, AJ, with Team USA. They had 2 exhibition games now locked in the books. And not going to lie, it was a little rough and rocky getting that start off, especially in the first game. It was really rough in the beginning. The second game, it was just rough all game. So I think they kind of ready to move past this round onto some real games. But let me know what we're going to do on this one, AJ. You swiping left or right?
We swiping right. It's Team USA, the biggest names in the game.
Of course.
Representing the country.
Go ahead and kick that off. So tell me what you saw in the first 2 games.
Love Team USA. It's always something to look forward to. They get together, start practicing in Vegas, big city, bright lights. Everybody's looking at them and see what they're gonna do to succeed and bring home the gold. That's always the goal. Other great teams get brought up, right? Because it's just legends that trickle down from year to year to year. Going back to the Dream Team, the Redeem Team, and now we got this team. And overall, VA, I'm okay with the selections. The only one that kind of got snubbed is, the MVP of the finals was Jaylen Brown. He's not there on the team. Kind of surprised me, I'm not going to lie. But so far, what I've seen, it's a couple weird things. They look good. They look like they're still getting some cohesion together. The first team they played was Canada. And Canada looks solid. They got solid NBA players on their team too.
They were third last year.
At least a legit starting 5. They won. I think they won the bronze. And they did good. There was some highlight plays that we all expected to see, and then there was some lack thereof. And I think they just hadn't time to gel yet. And you putting a bunch of guys together, they practiced maybe like a week before or so. Depending on how high quality the players they are, which we all know they're up there, they still got to play together and get used to the new basketball that they're playing, right? Because they're used to NBA rules and regulations, and it's different when you play for the gold. They end up playing, who was it?
Argentina.
Australia. They played Australia. Yeah, you think of Ginobili. Right. But they got some solid players. They got a lot of NBA players on their team. And they kind of let it go towards the end, man. I think it was like a 3 or 4 point game at the end.
They barely got by, actually.
Garbage minutes. And turning over the ball, being lazy. And I think they're still trying to figure out, pieces to who's going to play best with each other. KD wasn't playing. But one of the big things, regardless of how their game plays to me, was that Kawhi just decided to up and pack and move on, man. It's kind of weird that he commits to Team USA. And then after he gets there and practices, all of a sudden he's like, well, I think I'm going to focus on the Clippers and go back home to prepare for the season. That's just odd, man. Something strikes me wrong there. I don't think he gels with LeBron. I think a lot of that has to do with that.
It don't look like.
Well, he's just one of those guys you can't, you never know what's happening with him. Only he's the one that knows. But something was weird with that. But I'm looking forward to them dominating. They play Serbia up next. That's going to be a contender to win it all, too. So they better buckle down and play all-around ball, not depend on certain players for defense, certain players for offense, and certain players for rebounds. They got to all do everything. So what you got, VA?
I looked at the team, I think from either last year or 2022. I think it was 23. Whenever they had Jalen Brunson on there, and I think they failed to even place. And that's when everybody was like, that's when LeBron was, on social media was like, I'm coming to Paris to redeem. They kind of dubbed this the new Redeem Team. And I looked on that team, and it had 2 players from that team returning to this new team, and that's going to be Ant-Man and Tyrese Halliburton. Everybody else is new. So these teams they are playing have had the same rotation of guys for at least 5 years. At least. Most of them way longer than that. Because most of the people on these teams only play international ball, so they come right back. Mm-hmm. They're the best in their country for like 10-year span. So they get this time to gel together, really play with each other. USA does not have that luxury. And so it's going to be rough in these first 2 games as expected. Things I can't take from it though, Ant-Man, whether off the bench or starting, he's going to do what he does and be electric. And I think his youth is going to keep the older veterans motivated in the games, excited about the games, seeing him do right. He keeps going. It's like a fresh blood to kind of lifen things up. Kind of compares to how Jordan, when he came into the league for that, I think it was for the Dream Team, and I remember Magic Johnson talking about that big practice they had where they had Jordan was playing Bird and Magic, and it was like, it's his time now. Like he really showed it's about to be his league. I think that's what Ant-Man is doing here during this run. He's going to show. Right, he's trying to, but I think he's going to show that like he is going to be the one holding the torch, not Jason Tatum. He just has that alpha dog mentality that I think we want Jason Tatum to have, but he does not have, not in the clutch moments at least. Right, that killer instinct that we idolized Kobe for, like literally loved him because of it. Jason Tatum doesn't really have that. Booker either. It's funny, all the people that claim to have that Mamba mentality, to be his mentors, that look up to him, really do not have it.
Yet.
Bro, come on.
I feel
Kobe
like they're
had
capable.
it at 18,
I can agree. I can agree with what you're saying, but
I'm not saying the bad players.
They're not yet.
I agree.
I know what you're saying.
It's like Kobe was another level, bro. Like it's really, really hard to compare. Like even just the nice guy mentality of these guys just doesn't scream Mamba mentality. But that's on another note for another day. Overall, Team USA, I think they'll be all right. They really got some heavy hitters on there that are gonna come through for them. Like it's really hard to beat this team, but they are playing with fire with how they're playing right now, but we just have to give them a little bit of leeway. It's early.
Yeah, I agree.
On to the next one. So we got Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark, 2 Rookie of the Year candidates for WNBA this year. Both been blowing up the stats. Angel Reese just got shut down finally after 15 consecutive games of a double-double. Really amazing work. Some people say she was out there, pulling the who's that player that she was doing? Said she was out there pulling a Russell Westbrook, getting rebounds from our own missed layups. I mean, the allegations are strong and the video evidence is really heavy against her, but that's neither here nor there. She was out there getting them numbers, and Caitlyn Clark, on the other hand, doing what she does, coming in, getting triple-double. She's actually the first rookie to ever get a triple-double in a game. This has been amazing. Really, both teams have energized their franchise and took them to a level we didn't expect them to be at this year. Chicago Sky, I don't think they made the playoffs last year. Fever definitely did not. Both of them all have a actual legitimate chance to make the playoffs. So, it's really strong arguments for both players to make Rookie of the Year this year. We swiping left to right on this, AJ.
We swiping right. It interests me all day.
Yes, yeah, I agree. So let me go ahead and finish it where I was already at. It's really a situation where I, at this point, would not fault you for voting for either one. They have been phenomenal. They have been better than advertised. And again, I don't care if you consider this stat pattern when it comes to Angel Reese. Her motor has been impressive. Exactly. She would not be the first, and damn sure ain't gonna be the last. I just feel like her hustle outweighs the talent that she lacks, where you see the clear heavy talent when it comes to Caitlyn Clark. Like, she's just very talented player, very skillful player when it comes to her assists, her rebounding, and her shot making ability. Like, I could watch Caitlyn Clark play any day of the week. Like, it really is amazing to watch her. I've really become a fever fan, like, of that whole team because of her. They really do put in that work, and I'm hoping they make the playoffs. But I say the same thing about Chicago. If Chicago made it and Fever didn't make it, I would not be mad at all, because I really want to see them too. I really love the duo of the centers of Cardosa and Reese. I actually, not gonna lie, I like Kennedy Carter. I like her game. She's a little pit bull out there. She can make shots. She can get steals. She can really impact the game with her tenacity and her aggressiveness as an on-ball defender. And like I said, both these teams are really, really improved so much over the year, and you can't say it's not because of that. These one individual players, like their individual contribution to these teams have been heavy. But if I'm going to say one had the other, I'm going to have to lean a little bit more heavy on Caitlyn Clark. Her ability to make assists for her team, to score, get 20 points out of nowhere. I think she's really impacted this team for not for generations, but for seasons to come, definitely. I just see them continuing to grow under her leadership. But like I said, either one.
I am really glad you said that, man, because I feel like a lot of people are afraid to say that, especially like the analysts nowadays on TV. And I feel like if you are a certain color or whatever, you're supposed to take one side or the other. And I think it's bogus the way it's kind of led up to be.
Right.
But I 100% agree with you. I'm going to tell you why. So both of them, not knocking any of their game or their skill or their capability, but both of them have this thing to where I feel like they kind of go weak about it at some points, and their game's just not polished. It's like that rookie that's kind of just like going through the movements, and they're just getting what they can get.
Right.
They're both capable of scoring and dominating the game, but I feel like, once the game plan is to attack them defensively and kind of shuts them down, they have to figure out other ways to get it done, and they haven't mastered that yet. They haven't played long enough to do that yet, not against this type of caliber of people or player.
Facts.
I feel once they figure that out, they'll be good. Another thing that you said that interests me too was that watching them, and in my mind anyway, when you were speaking, I was thinking about watching them off the ball. Caitlyn Clark is way more interesting to watch away from the ball and off the ball, and that's because she's always moving. She's always trying to do something. Angel Reese she is a post player, so she's down there in the beginning. She's running the floor, she's doing her thing, but you can watch Caitlyn and not watch the ball and still like be intrigued in the game.
Facts.
Kind of like Steph Curry, and I don't want to compare her to him because it's neither nor there, but you can be so caught up in just watching him off the ball that you're just like intrigued with what was happening during the game. And there's only a few players out there that are like that. Both of them bring impact and importance to their teams. I would say that Caitlyn is a little bit more important, only because, let's be honest, the Fever starting the season were hit or miss, and they had the number one pick the previous year, but they still weren't really nothing. The Chicago team got 2 high picks, and they had a kind of more solid team.
Right.
I think that overall, you're not wrong when you say you could pick one or the other. Yeah. I would be happy for either one. Both of them have those milestones moving up throughout the season so far, and we're coming up on the All-Star game soon. And I would slightly give Caitlyn the edge over Angel Reese. Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely not diminishing what they both are bringing to the game. I feel like it's almost equal.
Yeah, same. On to the next one. We got your boy Travis Kelce, the infamous now, after he's dating, the pop star. He turns down the show Receivers, which is basically like a new show It's kind of like quarterbacks, but it's for receivers now on Netflix as well. Very popular show first season. Quarterbacks, definitely watching receivers. Same here. But yeah, he turns it down, which I think might have surprised some. But given his current status, celebrity status, with again that pop star Taylor Swift as his girl, his boo thing, I'm pretty sure he wants a little bit of privacy. We swiping left or right on this one, AJ?
We swiping left. I mean, basically, you wrap that up because you said it. He's been getting a whole bunch of attention, and I think even the guy that loves attention, because you could tell he loves it, knows when he needs to pump the brakes. So I'm kind of glad he
got commercials.
He pumped him because
all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, I feel like when too much of that happens, man, they start losing it. So good for him for stopping it, but we swiping left.
Yeah, facts. Same here. He making enough money. He don't really need that. On to the next one. Men's Team USA Soccer. They lose the final game to Uruguay, and now they're out of Copa America. Pretty shameful exit this early. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I feel like we've come to the point where we don't really expect much from Team USA men's soccer, though. I know it's just really sad to think, but I can't think the last time they've really been relevant. Last time I think was they had the light-skinned, goalie, bald, black guy with the beard. That was the last time I remember them doing something.
Yeah.
Howard. Yeah, that was the last time. It's been a minute. We swiping left or right on this one, AJ.
You said it again, man. You're right when it comes to the Team USA men's. I remember used to go out and watch the games, get excited, go cheer them on, and have high expectations. And now it's just kind of like, all right, what they're playing. I'll tune in for a little bit, change the channel, come back, up, they're down.
I don't know.
Without getting too much into it, we swiping left.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not the same. On to the last topic of the day for the Contender segment. We got the Villanova Boys taking over NY. We got your boy Mikal Bridges. We got your boy Jalen Brunson. We got your boy Josh Hart. And last but not least, we got your boy I forgot his name. DiVincenzo. I was about to say, white boy, but DiVincenzo. We got the four, and we not only that, we got a returning Julius Randle, OG Anunoby. And they did lose Harkenstein, but I feel like Mitchell Robinson will fill his role. Now, will he stay healthy enough? We'll see. But I feel like he was great when he was out there. So getting him back will definitely fill that hole. And they can probably pick somebody up, free agency, before the season starts. Not to mention that, we got Jalen Brunson accepting a 4-year deal, contract extension, leaving $112 million on the table. My gosh.
Big cut.
That's a huge cut, man. I don't know if I could do it.
Purposely.
I don't know if I could do it, but man, shout out to him. New York, y'all need to make that man a statue, whether y'all lose the next playoff round, losing the first round, second round, don't matter. Put that man a statue. Because he saved y'all a bunch of money, man. Now, it's up to that organization to do the right thing with that. But either way, man, we swiping left or right on this, AJ.
We swiping right. I mean, this is big news. There's a lot of players that are coming from one school, Villanova. A lot of success in the last 10, 15 years in college ball, and their players are translating into the NBA, acclimating to their game very well. All of them high-profile name players. Every single player that you name from Villanova is legitimate. They come from different teams, have got a lot of knowledge from respectable top players in the league from their previous teams, and now they're all on one. The big thing to me, looking at the Knicks, is we've been looking down on the Knicks. Not just me, not just you, the world, because they're the Knicks.
Yeah.
Not just because of the owner, and they've been coming up slowly but surely. And this last season, VA, they were knocking on the door, and
they were.
Did they surprise a lot of people? I'm not sure, but they played very good. Now they added other people to the roster, like Mikal Bridges, people are making long-term commitments like Jalen Brunson, I guarantee you, he went in there and said, hey, I'm going to take a pay cut because I'm going to stay here for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you're going to pay me out in the end.
Yeah.
So if that's an investment for him, it's an investment for them.
The endorsements alone he going to make from this, like, bro, he's going to be all over New York now.
For sure. And they're all going to get their cut when it comes down to it.
Right.
Now, if they're able to make a big move, like one more that's just going to put them over the hump, I mean, great. Now, let's not downplay it too much because they are in the East. They ain't very much at the top scratching to get to the finals on that side. But it does give them their best opportunity to go against a stacked Boston that just won the championship. It goes against a tough Miami team that's always ready and hungry and got players coming in and out because it's a destination place to be. And then you got the other places that, are just filling in those last little spots that could make a run here and there. But I'm happy for them. I think it's important that they have these 4 players from Villanova because they all have similar mind when it comes to the game, and they can expect better what each player is going to do on the court because they grew up in a similar system.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what they do. What you got, VA?
Yeah, I think now they really have a chance to be relevant for a long time. They have a chance to lock up, at least the number 2, 3 seed for the next 4 or 5 years. All of them are young players, really starting to scratch the surface of their prime. I really like the team. I really like them under that coach. The only thing that can hurt them is injuries, which again is known to happen with that coach. He does drive his players to the ground. I still blame this man for Derrick Rose. I would never forgive him for what he did to his knees.
Josh Hart almost came by.
Right. I mean, you saw that, bro. Man, his ribs was toe up. Like, I don't understand it, but. I feel like they now have a chance to be relevant for a long time and to really compete for a championship. And honestly, bro, like the big brother in the East, the Celtics, I give them 2 more years max with them contracts. They gave all this money to them players knowing they really can't afford to pay that. That's why they selling the team. The fact that they put their team for sale right after they gave all that money to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Derek White, and shows you they know they can't compete with. I mean, first off, they know they have to keep this team intact in order to sell it. You're not gonna buy a franchise with the stars not locked up long term.
I think he just wanted to leave on a win and a positive.
Well, of course that's true, but at the same time, bro, do you see the new collective bargaining agreement? The second apron, bro, it handicaps you, which they would definitely be over the second apron. Bruh. They are going to end up. Now, the second apron, when you basically go over the salary cap after the second apron, because the first one, it gives you penalties. The second one, bro, it cripples you so badly. This is why the Clippers had to let Paul George walk. They literally take away draft picks for you for like the next couple of years. Because,
that's detrimental.
Bro, it's detrimental. Like, not only the money you're gonna pay, like it's so many restrictions with the second apron. So that's why teams are frantic about that. But the Celtics was like, F it, we need to pay our players, we need to keep this team lucrative, and we're gonna sell this, we're gonna flip this mug. We're gonna make our money back, and the next ownership gonna have to deal with this. And so like I'm saying, I give them 2 years, because if they don't win another championship in the next 2 years, and it ends in injuries or it ends just badly for Boston, they're going to break up that duo, bro. It's too
They're
expensive.
They're going to pull around and pull a Minnesota and yank that thing out from the next buyer.
Either way, bro, whoever buys this team is going to have to sell, because they are going to be crippled for years to go because of that second apron.
It's possible.
But like I said, because of that, I think it just makes New York look even better. The decisions they made. And then Philly, bro, they made a desperate move in signing Paul George, because now both they 2 stars are injury prone. Like, where they do that at? That is not going to get you like that. The Pelicans just did that with Brandon Ingram and Zion, and look where they got them. A first round. Did they even make the playoffs? I only think they made the playoffs, bro. They couldn't get through the play-in because they could never keep both stars on the court at the same time. Like, Paul George went from that situation in the Clippers to the same situation in Philly now. I don't think it was a bad move because he got paid. So I'm all for him making that move, and I think that team looks better with him and Maxey because now they really got 3 stars. But that health, man, Joel Embiid ain't never been healthy in the playoffs. Like, so I don't think...
He ain't never been healthy, period.
Bro, so exactly.
Maybe his MVP season.
That MVP season.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, that was it. You could tell after he got that, he was like, man, it is what it is. I got my MVP, I'm good. So I don't really buy too much stock into them being that huge in the East. What do you think? As far as their position for New York, like, you think they really got a chance to make a run for the championship?
Philly?
No, New York with this team.
I think they do, but it's more, I want to say, like a Lakers move, and they have these big name people there to make it sound like they're doing things,
right?
Which it sounds like they're doing things, but will it work?
Right.
And how will it work? That's the most important thing. Like, what you got on paper looks great. The history's there, the athleticism is there.
The continuity.
But when it all comes down to putting it together and getting it done, we'll see. I mean, they're playing against the best in the league, so.
And they gave up a lot, man. I mean, Mikal Bridges, he's always
they'll at least
been a nice player.
They'll be a top 3-4 seed, so.
Oh yeah, fact, especially in the East. But I mean, I just feel like it's gonna be a lot of hype on them to do good, to continue to be a top 3 seed, if not 2, because they hyped up Mikal Bridges with him going to Brooklyn, bro, and what they got back for him was a lot. They give up a lot of picks for Mikal Bridges, bro, 1st round picks. So this has to work, and the New York media is rough, bro. So let them, have a bad stretch. They gonna get it, and can they handle that pressure? Because now they have real expectations,
but they haven't been
bro.
Getting it for years.
I know, but the thing is, New York is always gonna be in the Mecca. So the fact that they have expectations now, bro, like the whole world has.
They have expectations.
What?
I think they have. They've been so far off for so long.
So
it's just like they're happy with a little bit of success.
Bro,
they want more success than last time, and I think they're getting that.
Bro, they was literally one Josh Hart injury away from the conference finals, bro. Like, there was no business. Indiana had no business being in the conference finals.
Yeah, but they wasn't gonna beat the Celtics. So let's say they get there.
No, 100%. But the thing is, if at least they had made the conference finals, well, shoot, actually, I don't know if that would have helped them either. Either way, to me, the expectations are high. They made it to the 2nd round of playoffs. Really could have made to the conference finals. So now expectations is at least conference finals this year. Yes or no?
I guess, but that's what, if you think about it, that's what we thought about when they was playing Atlanta and Trey did the whole Trey thing, every year they've been out there.
They wasn't ready yet,
playing
bro,
against these
when
teams.
They lost to Atlanta. And that was a fluke year for them anyway. Atlanta was playing out their mind. But,
that can happen though.
Yeah, but in the East, it's really 3 teams right now that we know are decent. It's Celtics, New York, and Philly. After that, it's a mess. We can't even say the Bucks are top.
I don't think they're
gonna
have anything next year.
That's what I'm saying. Like they ain't got their coach. Not with that coach. not with that coach. They are not safe at any playoff series. So I don't got no faith in them. So like I'm saying, it's 3-horse race in the East, bro. So like I don't feel like. And the fans know that. The media know that in New York. They know, like, yo, ain't no excuse. Y'all don't finish top 3 and make the conference finals.
To me, the whole Damian Lillard thing, he still got to prove himself. So I don't know what's going on with that, but it is what it is. We're going to have to move it on, though. Let's get it on to the function and org.
Let's go ahead and end that off right though with the contender segment. Ding, ding,
right.
ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, sir.
Okay, VA, kicking off function and org like we always do, jumping into that thing. First thing that comes to mind, the first phrase when I ask what you think about the Mavs and the 76ers updates.
So First word I'm gonna say is, this for me is more a phrase. It's like, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's kind of how I feel here, even though I don't feel, because both situations, Klay Thompson and Paul George, could very well be lemons at this point in their career. They very much well could be. Now, I feel like with that lemon,
sour lemons though, there could be some sour lemons.
We don't know. It's just to be continued. To be determined. But I feel like the Mavs and the Philly was like, hey, we gonna make lemonade with this. Whatever they got left in that tank, we gonna make it work. With Klay Thompson, I just saw a disturbing video of this man playing Hoop It Up or whatever it was, with some little Asian boy and like a couple guys at the Y, whatever it was. I don't know where he was at. He should have took himself to Oak Cliff or something in the hood, played with some brothers, because they would have gave him probably some more. They would have been in awe that he was out there getting crossed. He was out there not making nothing on nobody. He was struggling, and these nobody on the court look like NBA players. So I'm just like that worried a couple people. Not gonna lie. So again, when life gives you lemons, we gonna make lemonade. So all we need you to do, Klay, is sit your butt in that corner and work on spot up threes. We gonna get you open. We got Kyrie, we got Luka. We gonna get you open looks, bro. We don't need you to do none of that other stuff. We don't need you driving to the basket. We don't need you trying to do no little pull-ups you used to try to do. We don't need no dunking. We don't need none of that, bro. Spot up threes, and we good. We Gucci. Now
y'all gonna need more from him from that.
Nah, bro, that's all we need. I'm telling you, that's all we needed in the finals, bro. That's all we needed was people to make shots. Everybody went crickets from the 3-point line in the finals.
When Kyrie Luka really ain't gonna go under 20. But if Kyrie goes under 20, y'all gonna need Klay to pull 20 or somebody else. Because I think that's
he can
where
pull 20 off threes, bro. This man hit 7 threes like it's nothing. We Gucci.
I believe it. That's all we need. Not all the time, especially recently.
We need a Ray Allen moment. We don't need it all the time. That's all we need, bro. That's all we need. He need to be our Ray Allen.
Shuttlesworth.
That's all we need. And for your boy Paul George, bro, he started out in Indiana, OKC, snaked his way out of OKC to the Clippers, and now we're in Philly, bro. I know Clippers didn't want to pay that man because of that second apron, but they got a whole new Intuit dome to fill, and they still was like, nah, we're not paying him. He's not worth it.
Yeah, man.
So,
I forgot about the dome.
Right, and it looks nice. I'm gonna go to a game there, bro. We need to definitely go. I don't care who the Clippers play. I just want to go
against
to
the Lakers.
Right, that's what I really want to see. As far as him being what he used to be, I think he still got a lot of game days left, but I do see Father Time creeping up with him, bro, because the injuries, they are getting the list is getting longer and longer, and the time he's staying out is longer and longer. Last year was a good year for him, but he was in a contract year. I understand how that works and how that can motivate you. Now that he's got his bag, I don't know. Right, I don't know how motivated he is to play through the pain to get that ring. And we already know his counterpart ain't about that life in Joel. So it's gonna be interesting to see, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, I had something for you until you said your phrase, so I'm gonna go along with your phrase, and here's my new one. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Because, like you said, both of these teams are making these selections to get them over that hump. What the hump is, I'm not even sure they know at this time, because it could put them in that next tier to where they're possibly back in the finals again, and they get over that hump, or, right, that person doesn't come through. And I hate to say it, but Klay's been quote-unquote on the downcline. I think he's very capable. He's a great shooter. He's going to go down as one of the best in history. But is he actually declining? It's hard to tell. Yeah. It really is. I think he needed a new start. I think he needed to get away from Draymond's dumb self, and I think he needed a new, fresh start from everything, like life, getting away from the bay.
Facts. Going to LA, I think, was too close to home.
Yeah, like he just needed a whole new start, something to just to reset, re-energize. So I think Dallas was a good move for him. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to see him in the purple and gold, but as I think for him personally, it was probably the best decision he could have done.
Yeah.
When you look at Paul George, he's the same thing, like you said. I mean, he was one of the other reasons, low management was a deal, especially learning from the low management king himself, Kawhi.
Right.
Yeah, he did his whole thing and played this last season, but like you said, it was a contract year.
Yeah.
He got the contract, and now he's on to another one. I can guarantee you that Joel Embiid's gonna get hurt at some point in the season. Like, he's shown that every season other than one. So Paul George is gonna get hurt too, or he's gonna be sitting out some games, and they're gonna have to lean on Tyrese Maxey's shoulders. I don't know if they can sustain that.
I don't know either.
But it's something that they're gonna have to look past. And we don't know who really their bench is.
I was
like,
just about to
do they
say,
really have
who was
depth?
on their bench, bro? Only person I know is the guy, the Sacho Bob here. What's his?
You talking about Tobias Harris?
No, he just left, bro. He just signed with the Pistons.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He ain't gonna be there.
No,
but there's a few people that are on their team.
The other guy, he got hit by. Remember, he was on his bike. He got hit while he was riding his bike at night. Got hit. Tall, light skinned dude. He has like big frizzy hair. He be dunking on big dudes, bro. He be.
Oh, you talking about Kelly Oubre?
Yes, Kelly Oubre. There we go.
Yeah, he is who he is, but he's on the decline too, man.
He's decent though. He be going for 20
yeah, he's
sometimes.
an athletic person.
He's very athletic.
But I mean, he's not.
Nah, he not
what people think he is.
Yeah, I don't think.
Anyway, I think that they're both gonna be. They're gonna be trying to squeeze the juice from these two kids, and
they are, bro.
Or these two cats, and I don't know what kind of juice they're gonna get.
Might get prune juice.
They might be dried out lemons,
bro. They might get that raisin juice.
But on to the next one, VA. We gotta talk about the Lakers somehow, man. And I don't know what's going on, but first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that Bronny James and the Lakers are gonna do this thing.
First word I gotta say is destined. That's literally what popped in my mind. I feel like this reunion was destined from the jump. I don't think anybody had a doubt in their mind that Lakers was gonna draft him. Now, as far as his play in the summer league so far, I'm honestly not very worried. I can't say I'm not worried at all though, but to be honest, I'm really not that worried. Dalton Connect, their number one draft pick for this year, played pretty poorly first two games. He's come along since then. The first two games, it was really bad, bro. He was like 5 for 29, bro. It was really bad. It's the summer league though. It really don't mean nothing. I've seen players be great in summer league and it don't translate. I've seen them be terrible in summer league and then they're balling first year. Some people, it really depends on where you're at with your conditioning. For me, most of the guys that play in the summer league are G leaguers who have been in this little hustle, for the past couple years or a year or so. They understand the NBA game, how to hoop. So they know exactly what is needed to do. When it comes to showcasing their talent, they know what to do. And it's evident. They got grown man bodies, and you can see the ones who are really fresh out of college, trying to make a team, and then you see the ones who are drafted, who they just don't want to look terrible. So their nerves get in the way. It's I gotta live up to where I was drafted. I gotta show out and show I should have been drafted higher. So it's just so much that comes into your head when you just come off the draft. You really ain't had no training camp with the team. You getting thrown together. You expected to, shine, but it's your minutes is up and down. You don't know, you don't really know nothing about the other team. You ain't no scout team. You don't know. They was showing Bronny getting crossed up, bro. The dudes he was getting crossed up for, was balling in G League, bro. They been doing this. He don't know these dudes. They ain't got no tape on them. It's just so much thrown together so fast. I just don't expect them to shine. If they do, great. But to me, it's not indicative of how the career is going to go. Now for Bronny, I think he definitely is going to spend a lot of time in the G League, and he needs to. Just to give him that time to play and practice on just being a number 2 option, because he's not going to get that obviously when he's playing on Lakers. So I think that's going to really help him. I'm all right. I'm saying he's not even going to be nowhere close. But thing is, I think that's really going to help him advance, and I'm not worried, bro.
I mean, that's a good thing to say, right? So obviously for me, it's a sensitive subject. I'm a Laker fan and have been. It's been no surprise that people were saying the Lakers were going to draft Bronny for a while. There was some talk about some other teams that were going to sign him. But is that true for real? Like, would you sign Bronny on your team? A lot of people, and a good majority of the people that think this wouldn't be wrong, but they're signing Bronny to keep LeBron James there.
Right.
Is Bronny a good player? Yes, he's a good player. Is he an NBA player, caliber player? Maybe. But, I mean, he's, like you said, he's not going to be a contributor right away. Like, if anything, the only thing that he is there for and can be good is going to be a defensive player. And he's going to have to lock in and do that portion, because there's nothing really expected of him coming in the league. No. Just going to be straight defense, maybe spot-up shooter, make some threes. He's a decent shooter, but still. The thing that's frustrating for me about it is that I feel like LeBron came out there and was talking about, oh yeah, I'm willing to take a pay cut for certain players and this and that and the other. But if you're thinking about it, man, I feel like the Lakers are pulling a Jerry Jones and they just trying to do anything that's going to sell tickets. Because if I'm a big name player and all you're worried about is playing with your son, whether it's garbage minutes or not, you're playing with him. I'm not trying to do all that. Like, I'm trying to go out there and win. But if your son's on taking up a roster spot, especially a drafted roster spot, are you really trying to win? You know what I mean? Like, you're not getting me with that one.
Bro.
It's tough because I think he's good. I don't think he's going to be a great player. I don't think he's going to last long. But I could be wrong. I think with him, my word is going to be... just...
Don't last long, bro.
Young and immature. And that's just like how LeBron James came in, right? He came in 18 years old, super confident, kind of cocky, not really. But every time I hear a media day or something like that from Bronny, he's always talking about like his new Juice WRLD tattoos and like these like this stuff that has nothing to do with basketball. And it's scary because it's like, well, I know he's focused. I know we're just getting the questions people are asking, but it's kind of weird, man. He's just doing these immature decisions. And I know he's young. I can't fault him for it. I just don't think that he's going to last long.
You harsh today, bro. I mean, I don't know if I gotta let you just slander this man like this, bro. Like,
I mean, let's be real. When he wasn't even at USC, yes, he came from cardiac arrest. Yes, he didn't play that very many games. Yes, he was a starter for only so many games because of his injury. He wasn't even the best player on his team. The best player on his team got drafted in the second round. And yes, he's capable. He does show spurts of like, oh, dang, Bronny just did that. But he also shows clips of, dang, Bronny just did that, and it's like, dang, man. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's a little difficult. I mean, it's easy for you to see as not a Laker fan, and maybe I am coming off a little harsh because I'm a Laker fan, but I doubt it. But yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm not gonna lie, like what you said, like completely wraps up the summer league for him. Like there's so many moments, and I'm just like, you want to have his back, you want to feel like he's gonna get better, and like, I mean, you don't. It's clear you don't, but
no, I do. I'm trying to win too.
People in general want to see him do well, and I think he has it in him to do it. has he really had the chances? Like, I mean, in college, bro, he just came off, like you said, cardiac arrest. Like, it was a miracle he was even playing. So I don't feel like he really ever got into a groove there. So I don't really take into account what he did there, like as the end all of what he can be as a player. I do feel like though he should have gave it another chance in college, at least one more year, whether that meant transferring to a different program, a smaller school. Like, I think he needed to get away from his family,
or going to the G
bro.
League.
I mean, yeah, you could say G League, but I just when you're Bronny James, LeBron James Jr., bro, like that media circus follows you to a lot of places. So I feel like him going into the professional, because he's gonna get that playing time in the G League anyway. So he don't really need to go to a random G League team. He can just.
But that's what he needs, is playing time.
Yeah, but he's gonna get that for the Lakers, bro. He's gonna for their G League team. He's gonna be playing majority for them.
Oh, with their G League team, yes. Yeah, I mean, he'll be lucky to get 5 minutes in a game in the Lakers. So.
Yeah, I don't see him really playing much this year, unless he just all of a sudden just gets an enormous leap in the during the season, which I don't see that happening. Like, he's definitely a ways away. He's 18, 19, bro. Like he's a ways away. But the athleticism, you can see it's there. I think he's still going to get taller. I don't see him being that height, bro. Like, he's like 6'1", 6'2".
He is. He's going to be that, bro.
Bro, he's got to get taller, bro. There's no way. Like, his brother is
already
like taller
than
him, bro.
Than him.
It's crazy.
But that's why he's going to be that way, bro. I mean, when did you stop growing?
Bro, Anthony Davis, bro, he grew in college.
Yeah, but I mean, Bronny's past that point. Anthony Davis only did a year.
There's another guy that grew. There's a couple people, bro, that grew late. Like, that keep growing.
Dude, I understand you were pulling for the man. I am too, believe it or not. But I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna leave it there. On to the last one.
All right, VA. We ended this one on a good note, okay? I'm excited. We talked about it a little bit before, only on the basketball side. But what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the USA Olympic teams?
I think as a whole, I have to say world domination. I don't know what it is about this year, but I feel a lot more stronger this year than I did about when we played in South Korea. I'm not South Korea. What was it? Japan Olympics, Tokyo. I watched like a lot of the Olympics. Not the Olympics, the track and field USA that they just had, the Olympic qualifying meet for the Paris Olympics. Oh man, we got some strong candidates. Every year we do. That's not to say the less we have strong, but like I just feel like this year that we have a really great pool of candidates that are going to do well in track and field. Obviously, basketball, men's and women's, we're going to be dominant this year. Both teams are stacked with all stars and future Hall of Famers. As far as soccer, obviously we're kind of faulting there. And there's definitely controversy with, Team USA women's leaving the Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese off that team. But nonetheless, like I said, I just feel like we're definitely about to dominate Paris. I feel like politics did come into play a lot, though, with some of these pickings, like men's basketball. Like, you can't tell me Nike didn't have no say in, like, Kyrie and Jaylen Brown not being on that team. To me, that's huge, but that's not a big deal. Like I said, either way, I feel like the team this year is going to be real dominant compared to compared to years past. We're going to be more dominant this year, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, the word for me is going to be legendary. Because from the time that I remember watching any sport or getting ready for the Olympics or even like kind of understanding what the Olympics is, it's cool because you look back on those times and then you remember all those times what you saw on TV and who's got so many gold medals, and right. You remember the Michael Johnsons, the Michael Phelps, the women's gymnastics teams, like just like iconic moments, and it's special because you're part of that nation, right? So it feels good. You know you're going in there and like they're about to dominate, and you feel proud with them, and it's got to be a cool feeling to represent your country. That's why I don't understand what the NBA is finally like, hey, yes, let's have that same feeling. Like, where y'all been lacking at, man? But anyway, on a high note, some things that I'm looking forward to, right? Like you said, track and field, there's something about that all the time, especially the sprints, the jumps, the relays, the women's gymnastics, men's basketball.
Forgot about that.
I mean, there's even times where I know it's winter, right? But even the smaller sports that aren't as popular, like archery and
your voice is going in and out.
What is it? Is it with the ice on the little wheel? They got the brooms out there. What is it?
Shake weight.
I know what you know what I'm talking about. Okay. What is that sport called? Is it knurling or something like that? Curling. You know what I'm talking about?
What they do the thing on the ice?
Yeah, where they push that little block thing down.
I can't think of the name either.
Yeah, but I mean, even that's interesting, man. I don't know nothing about that, but it's like, all right, you rooting for your country, you know, bobsledding, like just things that you don't really care about, and you're like going for that because they're your team USA, you know. So that's fun. I think the coolest thing is I read a report where they said out of the 46 states of the U.S. Are being represented for the U.S. So that means that there's 50 states. 4 states are lacking. They need to step up their athleticism.
There's a lot from
46
Texas,
states are repping it. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's big time. So it's something that I can back. It's something I'm looking forward to. And something about listening to the national anthem too. Like when they raised the flags and they win first place. Like that's super cool.
Right.
That's pretty much all I got on that VA. But yeah, legendary. It's gonna be an amazing time to watch. It's in Paris.
Right.
That's cool. That's gonna be a cool background. It's gonna be a lot of traveling, a lot of craziness too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that sums up the function at OR VA.
All right. On to the last segment of the day. Again, the Got Beef segment is what we're gonna do today, and we're gonna end it on a I don't know what to call this note. I can't say high, low, but it's just a note. we got Trump, former President Trump versus reality, because I don't know if this is a simulation or if this is real life. Just over the weekend, I think the boy Trump had a rally in Pennsylvania. And as all of you, no one cannot know at this point, there was an attempt on his life by an assassin. And it was, it's so crazy because stuff like this is like now etched in history for ever. And you hear about these assassination attempts like John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan. And for both of those, we actually have footage. And you see like how people act after they get shot randomly in public by someone they don't know. It's just mass hysteria. And then you see this video and you just have a lot of questions. A lot. It just, if you're like me, you just start going down this rabbit hole on Twitter, formerly X now, formerly known as Twitter, and you see all these people doing these think pieces and just like doing these camera angles and zooms and you're just like, how did this happen? Like, it's just really, really strange how even this could even happen. Like, I don't even want to get to the point of like him actually getting shot and all the stuff that happened after that with the Secret Service. Like, the fact that this was even able to happen on a building, on a rooftop, not like in some like crazy, like the movie Wanted, the dude shooting from like between the subway, a building tower, a little, like literally I could probably throw a football. That's how close it was, bro. Like literally just right there. Like, oh, what's that over there? Oh, what's that? Oh, I can see it. Okay, yeah, that's a shooter. Okay, yeah, like right there. And like people like accounts of people saying, hey, like yeah, I told the cops there was somebody up there with a gun, and they didn't do nothing. But they're just there. Like, hey, there's a shooter. Like somebody do something. Like never mind all that. The fact that someone was able to get a shot off that close is just so unprecedented, bro. Like it hasn't happened since Kennedy. It just, I mean,
and it's 2024,
right? And when it happened with Reagan, they didn't even have metal detectors at that time. Like that's just like how far removed we are from like public assassinations happening. Like the last crazy one I can really think of is like MLK. Like I mean, obviously Kennedy was after that, but still, like it's just like. We have to go so far back in time to really be able to recollect this even happening, because the advancements we have in like hyper security and tech and like the protocols of like, you know, checking out the area, someone being on that type of building that close for the whole speech. Like usually you would have someone locked down on that. You would just leave that open, and like we have snipers on the roofs, like watching like looking in the direction, still nothing happening. This is all before, again, the shot goes off. So it's just so much that just makes you question, like, is this real life? It's like that old meme with that David goes to the dentist. He's like high on that medicine after he got his tooth taken out, and he's just like, is this real life? That's what I feel like when I watch Trump versus reality. I mean, what's your take on this, bro?
Everybody else in the world's thinking the same thing. And,
everybody.
You know, obviously not talking about it in too depth, right? Like I remember being at work, somebody coming up to me and say, hey, did you hear about this? And I was like, nah, I thought it was fake news. Like straight when Kobe Bryant passed, man, I thought that was fake news.
Right.
And sure enough, I looked up on my phone, and sure enough, there was a alert on there talking about it. And I was like, dang. But then for the next, what's important to me, VA, and this is the time of life that we live in right now, and it's a shame, is number one, that's actually happening, right? Like somebody to go and do something like that to change circumstances or think they're going to change something and just be an etch in the history books, like that's so dumb and uncalled for. But number two is like, it's 2024. How do we get to this level? And what is the fake news that's being put out there? People were saying that this is the person that's did it, and then they were saying, oh, well, these are fake photos, and then they were saying, well, that you know, well, we told police, and Secret Service said this, and then one news station will say this didn't happen, and it was just all over the place, and no one really knew what to believe.
There's no real facts.
And when it comes to social media nowadays, like it used to be like the first form of how people were finding out within our lifetime, right? Like we didn't wake up the next morning and read the paper or sit down and watch the 9 o'clock news. Like it's like instant. You know what I mean? So putting out that fake news is like, come on, man. We need to be able to trust what the heck's going on out there. And these are from like big platforms, you know, not just your little mom.
Like there's no waiting to see if this is actually correct. There's none of that. It's put it out. Put it out. Who could be the first? Put it out.
Yeah, who could be the first to put it out, and let's see what sticks. And that's another shame. But yeah, you're right. I was kind of in on, and then it kind of got disappointed because I didn't know what to believe. And I was like, well, I'm just going to wait a couple days. And I'm going to figure out here from a couple of days from now, because it sounds like nobody knows what's going on. Nobody. But I can tell you this. Somebody's about to lose their job, if not multiple.
Yes.
I mean, this is crazy that
it's
like
an absolute failure.
It's even happening, and there's a lot of failures. It's not just down to one person, right?
A lot.
But these people I know get paid good money. One thing that I know from Secret Service is like they put their bodies in front of the president to make sure that, you know, no further damage is done. I'll just leave it at that. And when I saw the video a couple times, it's kind of like, what are y'all doing? Y'all ready for this moment? Because I mean, it looks like a lot of people weren't ready for this moment. A lot of people about to lose their job.
A lot.
So that's scary, right? Because we've had a couple of moments like that in recent history with people not being ready when their name's being called, when it comes down to protecting life. And it's crazy that this even have to happen. I'm glad we're talking about it because everybody else in the world is. But at the end of the day, life's a life, and I think that it's important to know that he is okay. I'm not gonna say he's gotta be a G because he done put his hand up there and this and that and the other. one split second or one little small event during that time could have changed the outcome for a lot of stuff, man. And it's crazy to think about it that way.
Facts.
But that's kind of all I got on it. I'm still really not even sure 100% of what's happened up to this point.
Is this real life? I don't know. It's just, I never thought I'd see something like this in my lifetime. Like, literally, I checked Twitter and I was like, oh, it says Trump got shot. I'm like, oh, there gotta be some meme, something. I look, it's like CNN, Fox News. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. All saying different stuff.
Right. Insane.
Who knows?
It's crazy. As always, another great episode, AJ.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
Same as always, VA. It's all fun and games.
So you get called in the HR.
Yes,
appreciate y'all. Until next time.
Deuce.
Signing off.
Holla.
Peace.